The Young and the Restless spoilers Fridays full May 23, 2025 in the rolling fields of the Newman Ranch, where the horizon stretches out in velvet swaths of emerald and gold. Victor Newman has once again turned the art of surprise into a personal masterpiece. In an upcoming standalone episode devoted entirely to the power and beauty of love, audiences will find Victor slipping away from the glare of his corporate empire to craft an unforgettable evening for his beloved Nikki. He chooses the old barn, recently renovated at her insistence to become a cozy guest house, as the setting for his gesture. Lanterns, their glass panes etched with vine patterns, cast flickering halos across bale stacks wrapped in soft, cream-colored throws. A simple table is draped in ivory linen, the centerpiece a low arrangement of white peonies, Nikki's favorite. As dusk settles, Victor meets Nikki at the door, holding a single long-stemmed rose, its petals just opening to reveal their rich scarlet hue. With a gentle smile, he pours her a glass of bubbly champagne from a slender bottle clad in silver foil and offers her a seat by the crackling fire pit he's ignited in the barn's central clearing. Their conversation begins with easy laughter, as Victor recounts the first time he realized Nikki's spirit was as fierce and enduring as the oak beams above them. He reminisces about that fateful night years ago when, despite the glimmering chandeliers of the penthouse ballroom and the throng of well-wishers, they found themselves drawn to one another in a crowded dance floor. Now, removed from the glare of public scrutiny, they rediscover the simple joy of being together, the way her eyes crinkle when she laughs, the soft lilt of her voice as she recalls their early days, the warmth of her hand in his. When the moment is ripe, Victor reaches into his jacket pocket and produces a small velvet box. Kneeling before her in the soft sand he's scattered across the floor, he opens it to reveal a delicate necklace. A slender silver chain bearing a pendant shaped like a soaring dove, its wings embossed with filigree. "For the freedom you've given me," he says, voice strong yet tender, "and the peace you bring to my soul." Nikki's breath catches, tears glimmer in her eyes as she allows him to fasten the chain around her neck. As she rises to embrace him, their kiss is soft but profound, a testament to decades of shared triumphs and trials. Not far away in Genoa City's more formal circles, another love story unfolds in its own private way. Diane Jenkins, once the formidable queen of Newman and sometimes Abbott drama, has spent recent weeks grappling with her own need to belong. Jack Abbott, ever the perceptive son and brother, has watched Diane pour her energy, her vision, and her very heart into the remodeling of Abbott Manor. He knows that behind her confident stride lies a heart vulnerable to the sting of disapproval, especially as word spreads that Ashley and Tracy Abbott will soon be returning to witness the transformation firsthand. In a gesture as thoughtful as it is unexpected, Jack arranges a small, intimate ceremony in the manor's great hall. The room is lit by a single row of taper candles, their warm flames dancing across newly polished oak floors and illuminating the pale gray silk draperies Diane selected with such care. At the center stands Jack, dressed in a charcoal suit carelessly undone at the collar, his gaze fixed on Diane's astonished face. "My dear Diane," he begins, his voice echoing softly against the vaulted ceiling, "I have watched you breathe life into every corner of this home. Floorboards, fireplaces, crown moldings, and all. You have given this house new purpose, new beauty, and for that I am endlessly grateful." He steps closer, placing a single red carnation in her hand, its ruffled petals a nod to her indomitable spirit. "I love you," he says simply. "I am proud of you in ways words cannot capture. Your vision, your passion, it has amazed me every day." Diane's eyes flicker with emotion, her usual poise faltering as she struggles to meet his sincerity. Then Jack offers a playful half-smile. "And yes, I know Ashley and Tracy will be arriving soon to judge the results for themselves." Diane's shoulders tense at the reminder. "So soon," she echoes, anxiety threading through her voice. Jack's grin softens into reassurance. "Trust me," he says, stepping even closer until they stand face to face. "They will be awestruck." And as for Billy, he adds with a wink, referencing her stepson's earlier misgivings, "I have already told him that no matter what changes we make, our father's love endures, etched in the walls of this home and in our hearts. He takes her hands in his, the candles flickering between them like witness to the vow he is about to make. To celebrate you, he announces, and to honor the fact that we never had the honeymoon we should have taken all those years ago, I propose that we take one now. Just the two of us. You and me, away from everything, where no one can interfere with our happiness. Diane's breath catches, her heart both buoyant and wary. In Jack's eyes, she sees not only admiration but also the promise of new beginnings, a chance to reclaim the love that had once been overshadowed by duty and expectation. Tears fill her eyes as Diane nods, voice barely above a whisper. I'd like that, she admits, her lips curving into a genuine smile for the first time in months. Jack moves to wrap her in his arms, sealing their pact with a kiss that is both tender and fierce, a promise that this time, they will claim their happiness on their own terms. As the candles gutter and the night deepens, two separate yet parallel stories of devotion and surprise play out under the same moonlit sky. Victor and Nikki at the ranch, rediscovering the wonder of their first spark, Jack and Diane at Abbott Manor, forging a new chapter of love born of respect and shared triumphs. Both couples stand at the threshold of renewal, their private celebrations a testament to the endurance of the human heart. In Genoa City, where every gesture can be shadowed by scandal and every love tested by power, these quiet, intimate moments shine like beacons, reminders that when love is nurtured with thoughtfulness, courage, and a willingness to defy expectations, it can transform even the grandest of estates into sanctuaries of the soul. And in those sacred embraces, the promise is clear: the best celebrations are those that honor both the past we cherish and the future we dare to dream. At the golden edge of afternoon, the new guesthouse at Newman Ranch glowed like a private sanctuary against the rolling fields. Victor led Nikki inside, the door clicking softly behind them, and set down a bottle of vintage Bordeaux he'd selected himself. Nearby, a low table bore a simple spread of artisanal cheeses and ripe figs. Just enough for a light bite before dinner. Nikki's eyes lit up at the intimate tableau. A week before her official birthday, Victor had once again orchestrated a celebration meant only for the two of them. He poured her a glass of wine, watching the liquid swirl like liquid garnet in her flute. "My eternally young wife," he said, raising his glass to hers with a playful flourish. "I thought we might start your birthday festivities a week early, just you and me." His voice was rich with genuine warmth. "I love you." Nikki returned his toast with a smile that softened the lines around her eyes. "You never cease to surprise me," she replied, her fingertips lingering on the stem of her glass. "I hope you'll outdo yourself again when Claire and I plan the big party." He chuckled, his eyes dancing. "I wouldn't have it any other way." He stepped closer, taking her hand. "But tonight is for you alone." He extended his other hand. "May I have this dance?" Nikki set her glass aside and placed her hand in his, allowing him to guide her into the wide, wooden-floored room. Soft notes of a distant piano concerto drifted in through an open window, carrying the scent of honeysuckle. As they began to waltz, Nikki sighed contentedly. "Every time we dance, I feel the world fall away," she murmured. He drew her closer, resting his chin atop her head. "Me too," he agreed. After a moment, her voice dropped to a softer timbre. "You know," she said, "Claire has been so wonderful through all this." She gave a light laugh. "I'm surprised the entire audience hasn't heard me say that already." Victor suppressed a grin. "We've talked enough about Claire," he teased gently. "Tonight is about you." He paused, brushing a kiss along her temple, and in that hush, Nikki felt all her cares slide away. When they broke apart, Victor reached into his jacket pocket and produced a slender box. Nikki's breath caught as he opened it to reveal a delicate gold necklace. The chain held a small heart-shaped locket, and inside was a tiny photograph: Nikki, Victoria, and Claire, arms linked in laughter. "For strength, for family, for love," he said, fastening the locket around her neck. "Because every chapter we've written together, good and bad, has brought us here." Tears glimmered in Nikki's eyes as she touched the pendant. I love it, she whispered. And I love you. That same evening, under a canopy of city lights, Lauren made her way into a cozy jazz club where low smoke haze curled above the tables and the sultry notes of a saxophone filled the air. Michael was already seated at a corner table, the flicker of a candle illuminating his anxious expression. Lauren slipped into the booth across from him, and for a moment they simply regarded each other in the soft glow. Michael reached across the table, taking her hand. I love you, he said quietly, his voice earnest. Lauren's gaze hardened, shadows flickering across her features. Michael, she began, pulling back slightly, you say that, but then there's Victor. And all those fights we've had about where your loyalty lies. She folded her arms, the midnight blue of her dress blending with the club's dim ambience. Do I come first? Or do I come second, after everything he demands of you? His grip on her hand tightened. Lauren, he replied, you always come first. I swear it. She inhaled, the smoky scent of bourbon and leather mingling with her own perfume. Words, she said softly, haven't been enough before. She studied his face, searching for the man who had once whispered promises in moonlit gardens. Can I believe you now? Michael's jaw set with determination. I want you to, he said, earnestness shining in his eyes. Tonight, I'm here with you, nothing else matters. Lauren's posture softened fractionally. The saxophonist on stage shifted into a tender ballad, and the music swelled around them. She reached across the table and touched his cheek. I want to believe, she whispered, but I need to see it. Michael nodded, his lips curving into a small, hopeful smile. Then let me show you, he said. He rose, gently lifting her hand to lead her toward the small dance floor by the stage. As they moved into the dim pool of light cast by a single spotlight, the rest of the world, the Newmans, the Abbotts, the endless demands of power, faded away. There, to the smoky strains of jazz, Michael and Lauren found a moment of pure, unguarded truth, each step a promise to one another that tonight, at least, love would be the only command they heeded. May sweeps on the young and the restless. A season of reset and missed opportunities every spring, the young and the restless enters sweeps season, the period when network executives expect bigger twists, higher emotions, and ratings-boosting cliffhangers. In theory, it's the perfect time to accelerate long-burning storylines, reveal buried secrets, and give every character a moment to shine. In practice, this year's May sweeps have delivered a mixed bag. One storyline crackles with genuine tension and emotional payoff, while others repeat familiar tropes so often that viewers find themselves drifting into autopilot. 1. The One Sweeps triumph, Lauren and Michael's reckoning why it works, high personal stakes. Michael's declaration to Lauren, I can't gamble with your trust or your happiness anymore, lands like a thunderclap precisely because it answers a long-gestating conflict. He has spent years oscillating between loyalty to Victor Newman and loyalty to his wife, finally naming that tension aloud feels cathartic. Character growth, Michael admitted, I was just Victor's pawn, acknowledging his complicity in schemes that hurt everyone he loves. That moment of self-awareness is rare in soap opera patriarchs, and it sets the stage for genuine transformation. Authentic romantic payoff. Their jazz club reconciliation, punctuated by a promise to do better, plays like a love story highlight. The intimacy of the setting, the vulnerability of both characters, and the thematic resonance, music as healing, all combine to create a sequence viewers will remember long after sweeps end. Room to elevate even further, extend the fallout, don't rush their emotional arc back to safe. Show Lauren and Michael grappling with lingering mistrust over subsequent weeks. Missed calls, half-heard rumors, testy conversations. Let their hard-earned vow be tested so its ultimate success feels all the sweeter. Intertwine with broader plot, bring Victor's machinations to bear directly on their household, freeze Michael out of a family business deal, leak a headline about his betrayal, test their unity with an external crisis that forces them to rely on each other. 2. The praise fests that feel like filler. 2.1 Jack and Diane's endless homage what fans have seen. Jack commissioned candlelit ceremonies at Abbott Manor, showered Diane with heartfelt speeches about how her redesign brought the family together, and invited Ashley and Tracy to judge her handiwork. He capped it off by offering a belated honeymoon getaway. Why it doesn't resonate: repetition fatigue. For years, Diane's arc has revolved around proving herself, to Victor, to Jack, to her stepchildren. We watch endless montages of ribbon cuttings, glowing testimonials, and solemn vows of gratitude. Each feels less climactic than the last. Low dramatic tension, there is no real obstacle to overcome. Diane's work is universally praised off-screen. Ashley's and Tracy's impending return is treated as a formality rather than a genuine test. 2.2 Victor and Nikki's perpetual family praise what fans have seen. Whether at the ranch or in the penthouse, Victor and Nikki have spent multiple episodes delivering soul-stirring tributes to Claire's strength, proclaiming unwavering affection for each other, and trading vows that echo past declarations almost verbatim. Why it falls flat: emotional wallpaper. True love declarations lose impact when they recur weekly. Without fresh stakes, secrets revealed, conflicting desires exposed, every I love you becomes part of the background noise. Stalled character agency. Claire, despite being the subject of their praise, has little to do but stand as a passive symbol. If she's the show's moral compass, she deserves a storyline that engages her directly rather than leaves her fenced off behind compliments. 3. Why spectacular sweeps need suspense, not sermons. 3.1 The importance of genuine conflict. Sweeps should feel like a carefully coiled spring releasing energy. Betrayals explode, alliances fracture, and secrets unravel. No amount of well-crafted speeches can replace the visceral thrill of characters facing real jeopardy. 3.2 Character-driven drama versus ceremonial moments. Viewers remain loyal when they see characters pushed to their limits. A financier deciding whether to embezzle, a doctor confronting an ethical quandary, a parent forced to relocate. Ritualistic praise ceremonies, by contrast, signal that writers are short on dramatic ideas and default to comfort rather than conflict. 4. Reimagining the sweeps storyscape. 4.1 Jack and Diane introduce a legitimate threat, rather than heralding the remodel with candlesticks. Place a lien on Abbott Manor. Perhaps a contractor sues over unpaid bills, or a safety inspection fails. Jack and Diane must scramble to secure financing or negotiate repairs under deadline. Each setback tests Diane's resilience and Jack's resourcefulness. Deepen emotional stakes. Let Ashley and Tracy's visit become a catalyst for tension, not mere spectacle. Perhaps Ashley suspects budget overages, or Tracy uncovers an undisclosed family secret hidden in the renovation, a sealed attic room, a lost wealthy relative's vault. Diane's designs suddenly hold more than aesthetic value, they guard a mystery. 4.2 Victor and Nikki, and Claire, grant Claire agency. Instead of letting Victor and Nikki define her worth through effusive praise, thrust Claire into the action. Perhaps she discovers irregularities in Newman Ranch's financials, or Holmes-like, she uncovers a corporate conspiracy that threatens the family empire. Her strength becomes actionable, not just descriptive. Complicate the celebration. The early birthday dance is lovely, but what if a key guest, Summer from Milan, shows up unannounced? Nikki must choose whether to reveal the intimate party or conceal it, risking hurt feelings. Meanwhile, Victor contends with a competing obligation. A corporate emergency at Newman Enterprises. Their private celebration collides with public duty, forcing them to make tough trade-offs. 4.3 Lauren and Michael extend the reckoning, build on their jazz club moment with a storyline that tests Michael's independence. Victor might retaliate with corporate sabotage, shut Michael out of critical board votes at Fenmore's, leak rumors to the press, or secure an injunction on business assets Michael controls. Lauren stands beside him in legal strategy sessions, fundraising galas, and boardroom standoffs. Raise personal stakes, introduce a rippling effect on Christian or Sally. Perhaps a school fundraiser falls through because of the family scandal, or Christian feels torn between grandparents. The fallout makes the conflict multi-generational, forcing Michael and Lauren to defend not only their marriage but their children's stability. 5. a blueprint for sweeps that sweeps and intersect storylines. Link Jack and Diane's renovation crisis, Victor and Nikki's celebration, and Lauren and Michael's stand under a single event, say, a surprise financial audit of all major Newman Abbott assets. Each couple's triumph or trial echoes in the other's decisions. Unveil hidden secrets, use the sweeps window to reveal a long-buried Newman or Abbott secret that redefines relationships, an unknown heir, a clandestine trust fund, a DNA test. True sweeps drama hinges on revelations that change everything. Deliver meaningful payoffs, follow through on every setup. If Diane fears Ashley's return, let Ashley deliver a verdict that forces a dramatic pivot. If Michael threatens to leave Victor, show Victor's first move in a damaging counterattack. If Nikki anticipates Claire's role in her party, have Claire respond with an unexpected initiative, funding a scholarship, launching a family foundation. Conclusion: May sweeps demand more than ornate praise and repeat performances of heartfelt speeches. They demand high-stakes conflict, character transformations, and climactic revelations. This year, while the scenes with Lauren and Michael soared, the ceremonial excess surrounding Jack and Diane and Victor and Nikki felt like gilded padding, decorative, but devoid of narrative weight. For the young and the restless to recapture the full drama that keeps audiences riveted, the writing must balance sentiment with suspense, ceremony with crisis, and celebration with genuine jeopardy.